What is up, cinephiles? Welcome back to Screen Kings. For today's video, we'll be talking about the epic conclusion to the Jurassic franchise sequel trilogy. We have Jurassic World Dominion, directed by Colin Trevorrow. Now, I've already heard not so good things about this movie, but still I went to see it for myself just because I've seen Jurassic World Part 1 and Jurassic World Part 2 in the cinemas, so I need to get that full cinematic experience. Now, I gotta say, I am disappointed like what most of the reviews I've been reading, mainly because I don't think this movie fully maximized the potential that the ending of Fallen Kingdom has given. Now, I didn't like Fallen Kingdom, I thought it was forgettable, and the same can be said about this movie. Now, if you remember, by the end of Fallen Kingdom, Isla Nublar has been destroyed and the dinosaurs are now roaming around amongst humans. And the big question is, will the humans still remain to be the apex predators? I felt like, in terms of plot, this movie is trying to do so much. It has so many ideas in its mind and none of them really fit well, narratively speaking. There is a family drama, there is this subplot involving smuggled and an illegal underground of dinosaurs. There's also this commentary about corporations accumulating too much power and with that causing an impending worldwide famine. It feels ironic because we're talking about here corporate greed, and I feel like the only greedy thing here is the studio, considering that they managed to produce this movie that doesn't have a story that really begs to be told. There's just a lot of dueling ideas here that never feels cohesive enough. And another thing that I didn't like about this movie is how it feels that the dinosaurs are not the main attraction in here. They felt like just side attractions, like something, like an obstacle that these characters will pass by, and it's just chase after chase. The main focus of this movie is about human clones and genetically engineered insects, which are locusts. And it will be disappointing because you went to see the dinosaurs here. You get them, you get lots of them, bunch of new ones, and there's this classic dinosaur with this peacock thing going on with his head. I'll just post the picture, I forgot what it's called. But a good chunk of this movie is actually about locusts, and I am disappointed with that because I felt like I didn't came for that story. It feels like something that's taken from a different disaster movie. There's also this use of cheap nostalgia because you can tell that this movie is insecure and it feels like it's still reeling on the triumph of the original Jurassic Park movie. You got the legacy characters back here, and I felt excited seeing Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern back again since 1994. And sure, you can combine them with new characters, but if you don't have a decent dialogue or a powerful story, I think it will just fall flat. So this is what happened for this movie. I don't feel that emotional connection, surprisingly, considering that we have a lot of these movies to build these characters, but I wasn't really invested to the plot. It's one of those things that you're just waiting for the story to be over and you are served with this plot that you're not really interested. And another thing, this movie is just filled with a lot of Jurassic Park / Jurassic World cliches. You see this seemingly bad guy and he indeed turns out to be the bad guy by the end of the film, and if you watch enough movies, you know that that person will get his karma in the end. There's this scientist who says something like humans shouldn't meddle with the affairs of the nature, and I felt like I've heard that line so many times in different phrasings, but still the same essence. And the T-Rex will appear somewhere in the third act. These tired plot elements, they're so overused by now and it doesn't bring anything room to grow as a franchise and as a lore building. So as a result, there is no sense of wonder here. I felt like that is the missing component of that movie, of the sequels. I felt that when I first watched Jurassic Park. I felt that when I first watched the first Jurassic World, and then the sequels are just all diminishing returns. There's just barely character development here. The performances are not really remarkable. Maybe I'm being too hard about this movie. If you're looking for that dumb fun, that chase, balls to the wall action. We got a lot of those towards the last hour of the film, and this is the type of movie that it gives you little time to think over the stupid things that's gonna happen, on how stupid the character decisions are. So in hindsight, it doesn't feel really meaningful, but at that moment, it seems enjoyable, so I gotta give it to that. It depends on how you look at this. Like, take for example, they are building this huge carnivore dinosaur, and that carnivore dinosaur is going to face off with a group of people, and none of them gets eaten by the dinosaur. They made the dinosaur look like a huge dumb character. So I felt like this franchise is playing safe. It doesn't really want to sacrifice any of its characters. Maybe that's for the best, because this is still a family-friendly movie and you don't want to traumatize the kids, but in doing so, I didn't feel the tension. I didn't feel the thrill, really. It's just something that quickly fades away. So if you're just after that action sequences where humans are on the verge of getting eaten, a lot of teasing, the visual effects are decent, I think this will be enough for you. But for me, I was really disappointed because of my expectations for this movie, considering that we already have 4 years from that Fallen Kingdom event, and I felt like there should be a fall in human civilization by now, and that dinosaurs, the T-Rex ones, are already starting to populate the big cities. I'm expecting for that big kaiju attack on the cities if we're really expecting on that full invasion, right? And instead, I was just waiting for something that's really interesting to play out. Like, whatever, just give me anything. Maybe a meteorite will come to the earth and wipe up a face of it. So I was just really bored. This movie is just another rinse and repeat of something that you've seen from the past movies. The screenplay feels bloated, and by the end of it, there's a sense that nothing is really achieved, nothing really changed from part 2 and part 3. It ends on a philosophical note, something that should be inspiring, that we should all just try to coexist together harmoniously. But when you got genetically engineered dinosaurs and human clones, I'm like, no, that's disturbing. It feels like a simplistic messaging, really. So I'm just disappointed by this movie, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 stars. But that's just my opinion. Maybe yours is different from mine. Let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. Would you like to see a part 4 or a different set of trilogy for this? Also, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet for weekly reviews of movies and TV shows. Thank you so much guys for watching. Until then, I'll see you all on the next one.